Okay, before we even get into this, let me just say, spoilers out the ass. You want a spoiler warning? There you go. Spoilers out the ass. If you are not caught up completely with The Promised Neverland, as in if you are not, you haven't read chapter 47, the most recent chapter, spoilers out the ass. You can think of whatever ass you want. I don't care, but spoilers out that ass. Okay, so I get asked all the time, Tekking, what are your thoughts on The Promised Neverland? Tekking, are you reading The Promised Neverland? What are you doing in The Promised Neverland? I get asked that practically every live stream I do, multiple times. Here's the reason I do not talk about The Promised Neverland. Because I want to make sure this is something I like. Allow me to clarify. The whole premise of The Promised Neverland is you have a bunch of kids, or at least the whole premise up till this point, was you had a bunch of these kids in a plantation that was surrounded and guarded by demons, and it follows their attempts to escape. And this is not something that just happens overnight. This takes a lot of planning. This takes a lot of skill and a bunch of different, factors into this escape. And I was really digging that. I really digged Emma and Ray and Norman's characters, how they worked well with each other, how they, different aspects on coming across, solutions to problems and everything like that. But I knew that eventually they were going to get out of the house, and that was going to happen sooner rather than later in the story. I don't know how long the mangaka plans on making this, manga last. I don't know if he's planning on it being like a several hundred chapter affair or like done in like 100 or so chapters. I don't know. But I wanted to make sure that as soon, like when they got out of the house and they're living on their own, I didn't want this to be like a thing where it's like the beginning was really good, and then it completely changes gears, everything's completely different now, and it's just, it was shit. I had a feeling that was going to happen, because I've had that happen before with movies and TV series and other manga, where it starts out, like the premise when it starts is good, but when that premise ends and now we're moving on to something else, it's sort of like that old thing when people tell you, like, the journey is the adventure. I mean, the actual, like, the best part of the adventure is journeying there. You know what I'm talking about. Like, it's like, all right, trying to get out of the house, that was such an adventure, trying to figure out a way to escape the damn place. Once we finally get out, though, is this going to be a completely different manga, or is it still going to have the same elements, or where's this going? Are we going to find out that Emma and Ray have, like, magical anime powers now to defend themselves against the demons? Like, they're still fucking demons, and they're still just little kids, so I'm trying to figure out, like, where's this going? And in the last chapter, we got that. Pretty much, last chapter, chapter 47, was the big exposition dumpy kind of chapter, where we find out about the situation with the planet, we find out the situation with the demons and the humans, and how it was going to shake down. And we all, of course, had a lot of theories about this, and the way that it was presented, I can get behind. I enjoyed this, because this is setting up for something much greater down the line, and I'm glad it didn't just turn out to be like, the demons roll over the entire Earth, humanity's been wiped out, and you're the last remaining humans left. That's kind of a depressing way to go about it, and that was a legitimate theory that many people had. That the kids from the Gracefield house and the plantation were the only humans left. There were theories that they were bred in like they were clones, basically, like the demons were messing with, like, breeding artificial humans just to consume, like this is some shit in the Matrix or something, which, by the way, that might not be entirely untrue, and we'll get to that. But then there was other ways that were actually mentioned in the chapter, because I'm reading this chapter, I'm like, sitting down to read this was a big event for me, because I'm like, this has been out for almost a year or so. I remember The Promised Neverland came out, like, right around Bleach ended last year, so I'm like, it's about close to a year of this. I'm like, alright, reading up about a year of this manga, this is what it's leading to. So I'm like, alright, page by page, how's this gonna go? And then you have the whenever Emma asks Sungju, what's up with the world as we currently exist in? What happened 30 years ago? And Sungju just replies with, nothing. I'm like, all right, where are you going with this? I turn the page. And then Ray comes up with the conclusion, wait a second, we're on another planet. I knew it. And I'm sitting there like, oh, wow, okay, actually, that does make sense. And then Sungju's like, nope, we're not on another planet. And then Emma's like, well, wait, well, the timing must be off, right? It must not be 2046. It must be like 2000, it must be hundreds of years in the future. Sungju's like, nope, you're definitely in the Earth. You're definitely on the Earth, and it definitely is the year 2046. You got both of those right. And so I'm sitting there like, okay, all right, what's going on? And so we find out the big revelation. A long time ago, back in olden times, you know, long ago in a distant land, I, Aku, the shape-shifting master... Okay, not really. Well, actually, not too far off. Okay, back in the day, humans and demons fucking killing each other, okay? Demons killing humans, humans like, I'm not gonna take this shit, taking up arms, fighting back the demons, you know, stab demon in the eye, eat human in the face, you know, okay, so that wasn't very fun. They were doing that for a few centuries. And then finally, after a while, the humans and the demons came to an agreement. The humans presented like, okay, look, we're not getting anywhere building our society with you fucks trying to eat us, and the demons, you know, you guys aren't getting anywhere with you trying to eat us and me trying to kill you. So I have a proposition. How about we just go halfsies on this shit? Let's do this like a bad 1960s sitcom. Let's just take a fucking piece of paint and just, you know, make a big, huge dividing line on the planet Earth. You know, half goes to us humans, other half goes to you. Basic rules, don't cross the fucking line. You guys don't eat humans on our side, we don't attack you. That's just the way it's going to be from now on. I think that'd be a better move. You think the demons would be kind of getting screwed out of that deal because they're the ones that actually have to eat human beings. Meanwhile, humans only have to fight the demons because they're trying to eat them. So you think the demons would be kind of getting screwed on that deal, but whatever. Maybe there's other ways demons can get sustenance beyond humans. Maybe it's not like demons have to eat humans. It's only like they want to because they're really good goods. Okay, whatever. That's been the case for about 1,000 years or so, okay? So if this is 2046, ever since the fucking Middle Ages in like the year 1046, this boundary has existed. We don't know what the boundary is. I'm gonna assume it's a giant-ass wall that would even make Donald Trump jizz in pleasure. And this is the border line that's like just guarded between just empty, just dead zone trenches, barbed wire, a dark forest that has evil, you know, little ghosts living in it. I don't know. There's some border line between both worlds, okay? If you've ever read Toriko, maybe it's a natural border. Maybe it's like a constant fucking cyclone or a giant chasm that you can't cross that's filled with toxic ooze or something. I don't know. But there's a border between the worlds. But from the other side of the world, the human side, and Ray and Emma deduce this, society is still society. They still have things that they've read about, like planes and giant, you know, skyscrapers and you know, like all the things that they read about in those books still exist. So even though Sungju tells them there's no way to get over, you can't. It's been this way for 1,000 years. Nobody's been able to cross this border in 1,000 years. It's not possible. Emma and Ray are still happy because even though they're stuck in Demon Land, humanity is not destroyed. It still does exist. So they could conceivably get to a place where everything would be chill. By the way, the reason that they exist is because they're like a parting gift left behind by the humans. I guess whenever they set up the border wall or whatever it was, whatever humans were left on the demon side, they were like, you guys can have fun with that. And here's the thing where I'm talking about the cloning issue. Either there was a lot of human beings on that side for them to properly mate and have children, or some funny business is going on. I'm not talking about like clones in the traditional sense, because we know Ray was born, you know, he was born naturally, but there might be something else funny going on here, because you'd think if there's a limited supply of humans stuck on the demon side over the course of 1,000 years, there'd be a little bit of a genetic bottleneck at one point. And this is totally the kind of manga that would address that issue, okay? So either there's something going on here where the demons are fucking with genetics or adding something to it. Maybe there's some form of cloning involved. I don't know. Because either that, or there was a shit ton of humans that were stuck on the demon side. There were like thousands upon tens of thousands, maybe even millions of humans stuck on the demon side that the demons have been forcing to, you know, breed and then create more humans over the course of a millennia. But other than that, I mean, I think we would be seeing some serious genetic defects by now if there were only like a few humans that they were, you know, forced to, you know, survive on. You know what I mean? even so, even if there are a lot of humans that were forced to, like, you know, create more humans for the demons to consume, they're still very valuable goods to the demons. That's why they value them so fucking much. So that's the case there. They realize pretty quick also that all the things that they're getting had to come from the human world. So it's not like the books from William Minerva were like just, they were written in 2015 and then the human race was extinct and then this is all that's left. No, it's like these books are probably still being published. There's books that are still being created and other stuff in the human world. It's somehow, though, making it into the demon world. So Sung Ju doesn't know about this, but, you know, it was obvious to anybody living in the actual plantations. They were getting stuff from the human world in some way. They were human traffickers. Now, of course, that also inclines that humans aren't necessarily all good, because if they were giving these objects, somebody was coming over into the demon world and giving them stuff, you know, it just seems like William Minerva might be on the up and up, but there might be other humans that are not so much, that are maybe doing something with the demon's bidding. I'm thinking there's going to be an easy way to get over this wall. Maybe not so much easy, but a way that has been used for a long time. But the reason I'm most excited about this is because this sets up the stage for a war. Now, I'm not talking about your anime war. I'm not talking about your typical, like, Naruto war, Bleach war, One Piece war. I'm talking about, like, a kingdom-style war. I'm talking, like, Rei and Emma get over to the human side, and then maybe there's a time skip, they're growing up or whatever, or maybe they spend all that time in the demon world learning about the demon world, then there's a time skip, whatever. It culminates in Emma and Rei and other kids from the Gracefield house like Norman and Gilda. It culminates in them like on an invasion of the demon world, trying to like eliminate that scourge once and for all. And it's all tactical and shit, like planning out like enemy advancements and stuff. That seems like something that would make this manga like that go like the Kingdom line. That would make more sense, you know. That's what I thought of in this chapter anyway. Like way down the line, like what is the end game here? You know, yeah, the goal of the first arc was get out of the house. Okay, you got out of the house. Now the goal of this arc is going to be get out of Demon World. All right, well after you get out of Demon World and get into Human World, what's up with that? Okay, you know, so that's pretty cool. I'm excited for it. Don't expect me to do like weekly chapter reviews of that, because it comes out the same day as One Piece, so I gotta put all attention on that on One Piece. But if anything else really does like majorly happen about Promised Neverland, I'll definitely talk about that. And I can talk about Promised Neverland more now, because after we got over that one arc and I'm like, all right, I see where we're going now, and it's not, I think I'm still gonna like this. I'm glad that I'm still gonna like this. It's not gonna be completely different. It's like, oh, it just went to shit. No, I'm really enjoying this, so thanks for the recommendations. I know some people didn't even think I was reading it, because I was really kind of silent on it. I do read it, I'm enjoying it, and I'm hyped for where this is going. What are your thoughts below on all this shit? And I wouldn't be trusting the humans. I wouldn't necessarily just throw out like Emma and Rei and all the other members of the Gracefield house arrive in Human World and it's like they're welcome with open arms. Don't expect that either. But I mean, I'm excited to see where this is going. What do you guys think about it? Comment below and all that stuff. Tekking101 signing out. Wow, I managed to get through it without any cringe this week. Pretty damn sweet. Can't resist, need cringe.